If you're an NFL GM and you need a pass rusher, the first place you need to look is Athens, Georgia. And I'm not just saying that, I've got the numbers to back it up. Listen to this. Since the year 2000, no college program has produced more NFL sacks than the Georgia Bulldogs. They've got 1,024 of them, far and away number one, again, as far as college football programs producing the most NFL sacks. And number two is Ohio State with just 715. So there is a wide gap from the number one Georgia Bulldogs and the number two Ohio State Buckeyes. The Florida Gators are third with 699. Florida State is fourth with 666. USC is fifth. Purdue is sixth. Miami 7. Michigan 8, Alabama 9, and Penn State 10. You will not find Auburn or Tennessee or Georgia Tech on this list, so you don't have to look. But in this video, we're going to take a trip down memory lane and talk about these big-time Bulldogs who just crushed the quarterback at the NFL level, all right? So let's jump right into it. We've got a lot to talk about, and I think this will be a fun video. So let's start off with the number one, right? The guy who's produced the most sacks, former Bulldog in the NFL, is Justin Houston with 112 sacks since entering the league. He was a Bulldog, I believe, in 2008, 2009, 2010, was one of the best players in college football, at least one of the best defensive players in college football that 2010 season. Dude was just an animal. Should have been a first-round pick, and the numbers prove it. So that guy has dominated, one of the best Kansas City Chief defensive linemen, probably the organizational history, but big-time prospect, big-time player, and a stud pass rusher. He's got 112. After him, Geno Atkins, 75 and a half sacks from an interior, right? He was a defensive tackle for the Cincinnati Bengals and probably one of the best Cincinnati Bengal defenders of all time. As I trip up on my words, I've had a lot of coffee today, all right? So stick with me here. So Justin Houston, number one. Geno Atkins, number two. Charles Johnson, number three. 67 and a half sacks. Most of that damage was done with the Carolina Panthers. That guy was unreal for the Georgia Bulldogs in 2006. Got better and better and better as his career went along. Leonard Floyd coming in at number four, now an Atlanta Falcon. He's got 66 and a half sacks. Elite pass rusher at Georgia. Turned out to be an elite pass rusher at the NFL. Richard Seymour is after him. Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion with the New England Patriots. 57 and a half sacks. Again, from a defensive tackle, that is a massive, massive number. One of the all-time great Patriot defenders. After that is Chris Clemens, old school there. A lot of you Georgia, early Georgia Bulldog fans or new Georgia Bulldog fans probably don't know Chris Clemens, but he was a dog. He got after the quarterback. Charles Grant came right after him. He played in, the late 90s, early 2000s, but he was a really good player for the Dogs. Was fantastic for the New Orleans Saints. He ended his career with 47 sacks. Philip Daniels is right after him with 40 and a half. Robert Gathers with 34 sacks is right after him. Marcus Stroud, 29 and a half sacks. He was, I believe, a high first-round pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars. His flip from Florida to Georgia on signing day when he made that decision was unbelievable. Back when recruiting mattered more than it does now, that flip was gigantic for the Dogs. Really good player. Turned out to be fantastic for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Thomas Davis comes right after him. He's got 29 sacks, or had 29 sacks. He's not in the league anymore, but he was a very good player, not only for Georgia in the early 2000s, but with the Carolina Panthers. He was a first-round pick. Could do a little bit of everything at linebacker, and he had 29 sacks. Will Witherspoon, another kind of sleeper Georgia defender that I don't think gets enough credit. He was a really good pro. He had 26 sacks. Jordan Jenkins had 25 sacks. He played in Athens not too long ago. Was a pretty good player. Turned out to be a pretty good pro as well. 25 sacks. Trayvon Walker, 24 sacks and counting. Probably one of the more underrated pass rushers in the NFL. That sounds crazy to say because he's a number one overall pick, but Aiden Hutchinson is the guy everyone talks about, and he's elite, no doubt about it. But Trayvon Walker is a really good player, stuck in Jacksonville. We'll see if he gets traded and can find some greener pastures elsewhere, but that number is just going to continue to grow. Azeez Ojulari, right behind him, my guy, Marietta High School, Georgia Bulldog, New York Giant. He's now with the Philadelphia Eagles. When he's healthy, that guy is a sack machine, a quarterback's worst nightmare. He's got 22 sacks, and he's still going, right? If he's healthy, I think he's going to make a big impact for the Eagles. Lorenzo Carter, 21 and a half sacks. Roquan Smith, 21.5 sacks and counting, I guess, for both of them. Lorenzo Carter's still in the league. Roquan Smith, obviously one of the best linebackers in the NFL. They both have 21.5 sacks. Kentrell Bell coming after Roquan Smith. He has 20.5 sacks. His son, quick little note, his son played at Milton High School. He is committed and I believe signed with the Arkansas Razorbacks. But Kentrell Bell was, I think, another late 90s, early 2000s Georgia Bulldog defender, was a first-round pick with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Good player. He ended his career with 20.5 sacks. Antonio Cochran had 15.5. Charlie Clemens had 15. Demetric Evans had 14.5. These are a few guys that, again, young Georgia fans, you've never heard of these guys. They were good players. Turned out to be pretty good pros as well. Mo Lewis, 13.5 sacks. Jason Ferguson, 13 sacks. Devonta Wyatt, a new Georgia Bulldog, coming in at number 12. First round pick with the Packers, has flashed here and there. I don't think he's been as consistent as maybe they want him to be, but still going. And he's good for a sack here and there. He's got 12. Randall Godfrey has 12. His son playing for Georgia basketball. His other son, I believe, played at North Gwinnett football. Maybe it was his nephew. He ended up playing ball at Kentucky. I don't know if he's still there or not. Donnell Ellerby coming after him. 10.5 sacks. He was with those 2007, 2008 Georgia teams. Pretty good. I think he made a nice little career with him with the Ravens here and there. Jalen Carter coming in right after him. He's got 10 career sacks for the Eagles. That number is going to continue to grow. One of the more dominant defensive linemen in the NFL right now. Dude's an absolute freak. Just crushed offensive linemen throughout the playoffs, into the Super Bowl. The guy's elite. He was an elite prospect. He was elite at Georgia. And again, one of the best overall defenders in the NFL. Just 10 sacks. Feels like a lot more. That number is going to continue to grow. Jarius Wynn, 10.5 sacks. I think a lot of that damage was done with the Green Bay Packers, but he was a sleeper Georgia Bulldog that I think people forget about. 2010, 2011, 2012, somewhere around there. Avery Jones, Warner Robins, stand up. 9.5 sacks for Avery Jones. Another decent Bulldog. Josh Mallard has 8.5 sacks. Alec Ogletree, I thought he had more. He has 7.5 sacks. Played linebacker, didn't blitz a whole lot, but could get after the quarterback. He was a really good player for the Georgia Bulldogs 2010, 2011, 2012, I think were his 3 years. Really good player. Nolan Smith, just 7.5 sacks. That number is going to shoot through the ceiling. One of the best, probably pure pass rushers in the NFL. Doesn't have the numbers to back it up. You just watch him. Just watch him play. That guy is going to have easy 10, 12 plus sacks, 15 sacks next year. If they let him just do his thing, Nolan Smith is going to terrorize quarterbacks next year. Boss Bailey, thought he had more as well. He just has 7 sacks. But that guy was phenomenal for the Dogs, especially in that 2002 season. Just an elite linebacker with length, explosiveness, and he could get after the quarterback too. I thought he had more than 7 sacks, but it is what it is. Kendrick Golston had 7 sacks. I believe most of that was for the Washington Redskins. Quay Walker, 7.5 sacks for the Green Bay Packers. I think he's getting better and better and better for them. A 100-plus tackle guy, but can still get after the quarterback when they need him to. Cornelius Washington at 5.5 sacks. That guy, 5.5 sacks. That guy looks like Tarzan. That guy looked like he was built in a lab. Wasn't super productive for Georgia. I thought he always had the potential to be an absolute stud. He was okay. He wasn't great. 5.5 sacks in the NFL, so he did a little bit of something. Poor David Pollock only got 4.5 sacks before his career-ending injury. He was a first-round pick for the Cincinnati Bengals. John Jenkins, big old John Jenkins. Remember him? I think like 2008, 2009, 2010 seasons for the Dogs. Maybe he went into, I think it was 10, 11, 12 now that I think about it. A true nose guard, like 330, 340. He was a big deal for the Dogs in that 3-4 Ty Grantham defense. Had a really nice career, still having one in the NFL. Only 4.5 sacks, but he does a lot more than that. Jordan Davis has 3.5 sacks. Kind of felt like it was more. Maybe this number's wrong, but Jordan Davis, 3.5 sacks so far for the Eagles. A lot like John Jenkins. He does a lot more. He's not a pass rusher, but he can get to the quarterback. Nakobe Dean, 3.5 sacks for the Philadelphia Eagles. Quentin Moses, RIP, 3.5 sacks in his NFL career. D'Angelo Tyson, Statesboro High School, Georgia Bulldog, Super Bowl winning champion for the Ravens. He has 3 sacks. Jonathan Ledbetter has 3. Akeem Dent has 2.5. Tate Crowder has 2. Tyrone Robinson, I didn't know who that was. I had to look him up. He has 2. Jonathan Sullivan, what a bust that guy was. He was a good player at Georgia, but he was like a top 10 pick, top 8 pick for the New Orleans Saints. He only had a sack and a half his whole career. Not nearly good enough. Malik Herring, 1.5 sacks. Marcus Howard, 1.5 sacks. Odell Thurman, another big-time bust. He was a first-round pick for the Cincinnati Bengals. He was great for the Dogs. 02, 03, maybe was he there in 04? I don't know. 03. 03, he was really good. Crushed Auburn in that 03 season, if I remember correctly. Just 1.5 sacks, not going to cut it. Robert Beal has 1 sack, and my guy, Macon's finest, Tony Gilbert, has 1 NFL sack. So listen, whole point of this, I found the list. Dawg Sports, by the way. I didn't do this research. I got 2 kids. Got 2 young kids. This guy, Dawg Sports, put this all together. I found this on Twitter. Shout out to Dawg Sports. Meant to say that earlier in the video. He doesn't have 2 kids. He doesn't have 2 young kids or any kids at all, it looks like, because this took him forever to make. It had to. But I'm glad he did. He put this great list together. So make sure you check him out on Twitter. Should have said that earlier. I meant to, but yeah, it's just going down the list for fun. It's a fun video. Yeah, but if you're looking for a pass rusher, Athens, Georgia is the place to be. Jalen Walker is going to add to this list. Michael Williams is going to add to this list. So no one's touching the Dogs anytime soon as far as NFL sacks created by a college football program. It's Georgia, number 1, major gap, then Ohio State, and then everybody else. The Dogs are getting to the quarterback at the NFL level, no doubt about it. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. Hope you kind of had fun. Probably boring to a lot of you, but yeah, it is what it is. All right, thanks a lot, and I'll see you on the website.